Experience, looking at inclusion criteria, understanding what it takes to find a patient in a clinical trial, just from being involved in that process for 20 plus years, knowing the complexities of what makes a subject in some way. Usually you use the data that's available to you, and then there's some expertise from experience, and then also knowing that it's a numbers game, in the sense that if you have 10,000 people, only about 0.5% of those people would be interested in a clinical trial to begin with. So you start narrowing that down, and then what's driving the person to get to that place to participate with you. And that's important. And then inclusion-exclusion criteria play a huge role in understanding how hard that study would be to conduct and how difficult it would find that right patient. So what adjustments do you need to make, or can you make based on science and then the reality of that patient, and how do you match those two? And that's a critical part of developing a good trial design. Different factors drive different decision making for patients. I always say test pilots are heroes and test subjects are generally looked at as zeros, right? So if we can change that mentality and share why people do clinical trials, they're not a guinea pig, they're a savior for all of us, in a way that we get data that allows us to move forward in medicine. We look at Chuck Yeager as an American hero, but we don't even know the name of one patient that may have helped thousands of people on a cancer drug. So right now we use a lot of PPS analytics data. So we have a data analyst as well as patient navigators that will help me pull data based on inclusion-exclusion criteria if a protocol is already developed. So if we have a study that comes in, we're being asked to participate in it, we can pull that data and match as much as we can to that inclusion criteria and start estimating how many people would really even meet that criteria before saying yes to a particular trial, because every trial is a voluntary process. So we don't know how many people would say yes to that particular program, but we know if we contact 6,000 people or 500 people, a percentage of them would participate in the trial. And you have to analyze that process as well to be able to say, yes, we can get 10 patients for this study. Teamwork creates success. I'm just one man in that process, and they make us successful as an organization. And my goal is to centralize some of the challenges and really create a business structure around the difficulties of having 6 sites. So you centralize recruitment efforts into a team that's dedicated to doing just that procedure, versus a coordinator trying to do a chart review or speak to patients within the clinic, which is important too. But when you can get hands-on data quickly and more efficiently and master that time, you can support those 6 sites a lot easier and disseminate that data versus working one-on-one in each site. The biggest challenge is obviously quality. You need to manage quality and creating process documents that make sure that those individuals are doing exactly what each individual is doing at each site, and that poses a challenge for what I would call a site management organization, as we are set up to do right now. And those are managed or dealt with by process documents and good management styles, making sure that they hear the same message over and over again.